Beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and in today's video we're going to be ending the start to finish we've started. We've racked up a lot of episodes and we can continue going with it, just being very perfectionist about it, but I really want to move on from this and make other type of videos. So today I'm going to be ending it. I'm going to be doing a quick master, which we'll be doing in this portion of the drop, and then from there we're going to call it a day, guys. Now I do plan on making a video with a lot of the tips that were included in the series for you guys to just minimize it down, as I know that this series can get a little too long to watch, and that's one of the things that I kind of don't like about it, is that it's very raw and you need to skip around if you just want to look for something. But again, I'll be making a video for that, and we're just going to end it, guys. So for the master, guys, since we were working into this ozone and fab filter limiter, as you guys know, just to kind of give it that loudness, but also work into it, which is just two limiters in all honesty, the maximizer here, which is a limiter, and then the fab filter pro all 2. What we're going to do is pretty much we're going to use it still, but we're going to essentially apply a bit more of compression and then just finish it off. So what I'm going to do here is probably switch the preset to an aggressive and tight. Now in the master, what we're going to do is essentially fix some stuff that I heard from you guys, like the track is too bright, etc. And that's where we're going to go. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to apply an Ozone Imager just to control the image on my frequencies. So this is going to set it up to low, mid-low, mid-high, and highs. Now I'm going to go to the loudest part of the song, which is here, and I'm going to let this just play and then hit learn.
Motherfucking bass.
Okay. From there, we're just going to want to solo what we need to. So the low end, we're going to go from 199 down. We're actually going to mono that fully. So we're going to go just a bit down. We don't have to go to 100% because there is some width there from the vocal, which is fine due to the reverb and whatnot. But we're just going to set it to there. From there, my mids. We're just going to kind of put those a little bit more centered. It's not going to be by much, as you can see, but enough is enough there. Now, these guys are going to get amped up a little bit higher. Now, we always want to bypass that to see if it... As you can see, it opens up the mix pretty well, especially the drum. Let's get placed a little bit there. Let's ease up on it, though. We don't want to go too crazy with it. And there we go. I love using this because it just opens up the mix, right? And it kind of makes a little bit more room for the frequencies. Obviously, a lot of the lower stuff should be in mono. It sounds great there. But again, if you want to break the rules, by all means, that's just my take on it. I always do that there. Okay, from there, we're going to do a bit of EQ correction. So we're just going to use the Ableton 1 for that. And we're going to reduce on parts that I feel are just a little either one, too harsh, or just don't need to be there. And one of the things I've been meaning to just get rid of is this little portion of the sound here, which I don't like the sound of it. It just spikes up too much, so we're just going to tame that just a tiny bit, which is around like 234. We'll do it around 240. We'll try and go a little narrow and just pull down on it. Okay, from there, we're going to do this reducement here over sample. And again, I remove stuff down there. Some people say you shouldn't because it messes with the phase, and it actually does. But I find that it kind of adds like this invisible lift to the mix, and we can kind of test it out. Okay. From there, let me look at the lead a little bit just to make sure I didn't change anything, and I think I did. We're going to add just a little bit. cool. And go here. I kind of wanted to add just a little bit of reverb to the drums. There it goes, just a bit, like 5% with a very low decay. Okay, and then maybe high just. Okay, let's look at span for. Okay, from there, we're gonna use a compressor to catch the peaks. There's a preset for that which works, and ideally what we want to do with it is just we want to catch anything that's just too abrupt. We don't want this to be constantly triggering. Just to catch from there. And then from there, we're going to hit it with a bit of MB. Now, the MB is where the mix is going to come to life and where you can bring a lot of life into it. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the mix to sound cohesive. We're going to create a couple of bands. We're going to have obviously our lows. We'll go up to probably 150 for that. You can always switch them. Our mid lows, so we'll go from there to here. Our mid highs. And then obviously we're going to have our high frequency over here. And then from there, what I like to do is I'll solo it. Now, we do have a bit of a need, so that's why this is triggering before we even go. Well, there we go. Now, I want to mesh the kick and the bass together better. Okay, now we're going to go here. I'm going to definitely compress this one a bit more so that do kind of feels like it's sucking into the mix. Notice how it just feels more gelled when we do that there. With it off, the plug is a little too loud. Now this is a little bit more tamed. Now we got to control it with the attack and release. Essentially, we wanted to. Okay, I think there. Now we want to be careful too, because as we do that, if the compressor latches down long enough and it doesn't boost back up, what essentially we're doing is reducing. Okay, from there, let's look. Now I'm looking at the clap. I definitely don't want to clamp it down too much. You can see the clap sticks out like a sore thumb there. Now we're gonna make it up. Give it a little bit. Now these frequencies. Definitely gonna clamp down on them. And I'll be careful not to mess with. There we go. I wish this had like an auto game. Okay, so I'm gonna bring back some of these highs. Okay, let's go to the beginning.
Once again, motherfucking bass drop. Once again,
Okay, let's. I'll make sure it doesn't affect this too badly as well in the break. So we're gonna hear it from here.
once again, for that motherfucking bass drop. Motherfucking bass drop. Back once again, for that motherfucking bass drop. Motherfucking bass drop. Once again, for that Mac. Once again, for that Mac. Once again, for that Mac. Once again. Fucking bass drop. Back. Once again. Back. Motherfucking. Back. Once again. Motherfucking bass drop. Back.
Okay, so I feel like I had to bump the volume up a bit. This is fine. We're gonna reduce just a bit there. But what I'm not liking is this area here is getting kind of dry.
Fucking bass drop. Back. Once again. Back. Motherfucking.
Okay, we still gotta reduce a bit more because we are bringing it back up. So let's try a little bit more.
Back. Once again. For that back. Once again. For that back. Once again. For that motherfucking bass drop. Back. Once again.
Okay, a little better. There's still ways to maybe make it sound a little cleaner. The thing is, the sound itself is very distorted, and I want to push it, but I don't want to push it to that extent either. So I'm trying to figure out a way maybe to minimize that. Maybe we can go into the lead a bit. Let me try that. But that MB is putting in work, as you guys can hear. We're kind of creating more balance and more cohesiveness to it. The problem that a lot of times the mixes don't sound like cohesive, or they sound loose to you, or they don't sound like they fit, is because you either have one stuff with too much transients pucking out that it's just too much. It creates essentially like that loose feel because there's no dynamic consistency throughout it. So that's what we're trying to work. All right, guys. So with those settings set, one of the things I'm really insecure about as I'm doing this at the moment is my mid-lows. The thing is I know in my room the mid-lows are accentuated. So for me, while this might sound kind of good, for you it might sound like, wait a minute, Sen, you're kind of getting rid of a bit of body in the song. So that's one of the key things. After I'm done with this, I'll probably check it in the car, come back and see if that was the case, if it sounds a little too hollow. Usually if it sounds too hollow, again, it's your mid-lows, which is from, let's say, 100 up to like 400, 500. The key thing, though, is knowing the room and then kind of fine-tuning as needed. Now, again, I am utilizing a reference track, and that's going to be the Seth Hills one up here, which is called Void. And I do have a span on it, so that way I can compare the frequencies on the drop of theirs to mine. Just because they look the same doesn't mean mine's is going to sound as good or as fat. There's a lot of other factors that come into play. But again, you can utilize it just to know if something is too loud, something is out of place. So we can kind of check it. So what we're going to do is just go into our MB right now and unsolo that, which I think we're soloing the mid-lows. So here's the drop. So with that being said, there you kind of see we have a little bit too much info there. So that could mean, one, the lead is too loud. So I might go into it because the lead, that's majorly where it's at. So I know that's probably going to be some of the issues. So we're just going to lower it a bit.
Once again, put that back. Once again, put that motherfucking bass drop. Back. Once again. Back. Motherfucking. Back. Once again. Motherfucking bass drop. Back. Once again. Back. Once again.
Okay, and there we can kind of see how we're going about it. Now, from there, again, I'm very insecure about the mid-lows and the weight of the track. I feel like the track sounds good, but it is, I feel like it's lacking a little bit of mid-low presence or power. The question is, again, if I can boost it up doing this or vice versa, so we can kind of try it.
Once again, put that back. Once again, put that motherfucking bass drop. Once again. Back.
But you can kind of see it's a little overwhelming, so just gonna eat some.
Once again, put that back. Once again, put that motherfucking back. Once again. Back. Motherfucking.
Okay, you can kind of see there's still some issues I feel like are present in the song, mainly with the effects. I feel like these might be a little too loud here and there, so we might turn them down and whatnot. And also the drums, there's something about them I'm not a fan of.
Once again.
Maybe they're just a little too overprocessed.
Once again. Once again.
But if we tone them down just a tiny bit, like especially the fucking...
Once again. Once again. Motherfucking bass drop. Once again. Once again.
Okay. So with that there, guys, we are going to have, again, the Ozone running with a maximizer, which is a limiter to get it loud, and then the last limiter there, doing a bit of serial limiting in order to push it just a tad bit more. Now, I want to check at the volume that I am currently at with this. So we're going to kind of move that over here.
Once again. Back. Motherfucking. Back.
All right, guys, and with those things added, I'm going to be calling it a day on this. It's 9:27, so I can't hear the song as loud anymore. People are going to be heading to sleep soon, and I don't want to annoy the neighbors. However, what we've done again, guys, is we did a little bit of Ozone Imager there just to control the low end of the song, the mids, the highs, and kind of widen or center them a little bit more. Usually the way I like to go about this is kind of like a ladder from lowest and move your way up. But again, if you find that something else works, by all means. I like to use this just to, again, see my phase correlation meter, make sure everything is mono compatible and whatnot. From there, auto filter is just for the track itself, as we were doing throughout the process. We do have a compressor catching peaks, which is not supposed to, again, trigger constantly. It should happen here and there just to catch little peaks that might occur. Again, this is just more for defense as we move along the chain. From here, we have a bit of corrective EQ, which, again, I didn't really like this part of the sound. Okay, so we're going to be reducing there. We can actually reduce somewhere else as well. And we just added a little bit of highs back in just for the first part of the drop. In the second part, I think it does more harm than good, however. From there, we used MB again to just control the dynamics and try to get everything to mesh well the way we used it. So you kind of see the kick, bass, and then we kind of gel them together. Here you can kind of see dynamics wise. We're just controlling that a bit. Again, when we're doing this, just be careful not to reduce or add too much to the point where it's like boosting and decreasing, unless that's the intended effect you want. And of course, just clamping down on those fucking highs. Okay, so with that, we're just gonna play it from over here, guys. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I'm gonna be making a video on all these tips and little things that were very useful for some of you that I feel would really help a lot. And I'll leave it to you guys. So you guys have a good night and take care. So let's play it from over here.
Once again for that motherfucking bass drop. Motherfucking bass drop. Back once again for that motherfucking bass drop. Motherfucking bass drop. For that Mac once again. For that Mac once again. For that Mac once again. Mac once again. For that Mac once again. For that Mac once again. For that motherfucking bass drop. Back once again. Back motherfucking back once again. Motherfucking bass drop. Back once again. Back once again. Back once again. Back motherfucking bass drop.